Hi, and happy Friday. Today is day 7 of Voice Matters October Live. And the topic for today is who's talking, soul suckers or soul's voice? Most of us have probably experienced the kind of chatter that goes on in our heads, especially when we're trying to make a decision. Part of us, as you know, if you've come to a couple of other of these Facebook October Lives, part of us is actually the inner critic voice, or part of that chatter that's going on inside of us when we're trying to make a decision is actually the voice of the soul suckers. The inner critic, the ego, monkey mind. Some people have called it the Debbie Downer. It's a voice that's designed to protect us. On the other hand, we also have the voice of our intuition, or the voice of our soul. And today I want to talk about how can we tell the difference between the two so that we can choose the voice of our soul more often, both listening to it when it's talking to us from within and then speaking from there to the world, because that's easier and definitely possible if we're actually listening to our own inner soul's voice. I'm going to kind of go back and forth and compare and contrast. The soul suckers tend to be coming from some kind of scarcity, meaning they think that something or someone or everything is not enough. The soul tends to come from a place of abundance. The soul suckers, when they're talking to us from within, especially when we're trying to make a decision, they tend to talk incessantly, repeating the same things over and over and over again. What about this? What about that? Have you thought about that first thing again? Well, what about the second thing? Well, what about the first thing? Well, what about the second thing? Incessantly, over and over and over again, even though they may only be saying a few things. In contrast, the voice of our soul tends to speak in clear, concise messages. What if you were one of those people that it could all work out for? And then silence. The soul suckers will often nag or almost yell as they're repeating it. Sometimes to me, they feel like a child tugging at us. Hey, 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 I want this. I want this. Asking for something that, this inner soul sucker part of us wants, believing that if the soul sucker keeps tugging at us, we'll give in and listen to what it is saying. The soul speaks clearly and often quietly. There's no need to yell. The soul suckers will convince and try to prove things. The soul knows that there is no need to prove. We'll get the message when we're ready to hear it. The soul suckers energetically tend to have a lot of energy up here in the head. As I've been talking about it to you, I'm noticing. I'm talking about conversations going on in our mind and the soul suckers chattering very fast. There's a lot of energy and spinning up here in the head. When it's our intuition or our inner wisdom or the voice of our soul, it tends to be full of energy or an aliveness that is all the way from head to heart to core to toes. Definitely lower in the body, more grounded and less spinny. Some of us don't hear it as a voice. So if the soul suckers are talking to us, we might experience it as an impulse from the head or an impulse from up here. If it's the soul, we might experience it as an urge or an impulse from the heart or from our core. The soul suckers are concerned with what we do. Are we doing enough? Are we working hard enough? Our soul, on the other hand, trusts in who we are. Our soul suckers cannot understand our presence. They only understand doing. So that's part of why they're focused over there. Our intuition trusts in who we are, that there is value in our presence. Our gifts are in our presence, and anything we do on top of that is icing on the cake. Our soul suckers might be focused on being liked when we're communicating with the outside world. The soul is focused on our impact. What are we bringing to the world? We might also be focused on how it feels as we're having that impact. Our soul suckers want to fit in or conform. Our souls know that we belong. There's no work to do in order to belong. We belong because we are human. Our soul suckers are always in a hurry, and our souls tend to have a bit more of a timeless feeling. There's no need to rush or to hurry. It almost feels like time slows down or speeds up based on what's needed in the moment. Our soul suckers speak with a fast pace and no pauses. And our souls, when speaking to us from within, speak with a slower, grounded pace. There's plenty of time and space. Spend a little time noticing these differences that I've laid out, and also notice if you have any to add. I love to add to the list. So if you've got anything to add in terms of the differences, please email me or comment back on this video and I'll add it to my list. And as you're noticing this, if you have a decision or a choice point in your life to speak up or not, to move forward on something or not, try consciously giving the decision power in that choice point over to the voice of your soul or the voice of your intuition, and notice how that feels. Alrighty. Have a great weekend, and I will be back on Monday. Bye-bye.